Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Terrence and Jill.
Happy
Happy
Saturday.
Saturday.
Long time no see. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I think we did one video since we've been here.
yeah. Happy
Okay.
November.
Happy November, happy Nonprofit Awareness Month, happy Veterans Day month, happy Thanksgiving month.
Yes, there's a lot going on this
It's a
month.
lot. It's a lot. All right, what we got going on? First, thank you to our subscribers.
Yes. Thank you guys,
Yeah.
ladies, guys, everybody for
Yeah,
just not
y'all.
only viewing our videos, for subscribing, your comments, for sharing. If you can share, recommend somebody, take a look at it, whatever it is, we thank you.
We
Thank
just
you, thank you.
Yeah, we're just trying to get some encouraging words out there. Just for anybody who feel hopeless. We
Yes.
know what that felt like. We know what that feels like just having a relationship now being in, we still some other things that we are believing God for. Let me just say we just went to we're home shopping and we just went to see looking at $1 million home. Like I don't know how we gonna get it, but those are things that we put. We desire some things too. Like so, yeah, we believe in God for some things, and so I know what that feels like to be waiting for God to.
She knows how we're gonna get it. The one above. Exactly.
He
How
done
we
made
we done
everything.
everything
Anything
else.
is possible. Anything is possible.
Yes.
Anything is possible with God, and so. But we just want to say we do understand that where you are, and because yeah. What else we got going on, baby?
Hey, we got a new Facebook page.
Yes.
Yes, that just came up. It'll be where you guys could actually go on there. I think around Monday.
Yeah, it's already up. It's already some not
Okay.
subscribers, some followers on there. We hadn't made no big announcement in my mastermind group that I have with the Savvy Seven. I did mention it there,
Yes.
but
It is called We Are Wordsmiths.
we are wordsmiths. So
Yes.
that's our new Facebook page. Please go and follow it. And we changed our Instagram page to We Are Wordsmiths. So that's our brand, and we are wordsmiths, and so
Yes. If
it's
you go straight to the site, it'll be wearewordsmith.net.
.net. We are
Yes.
wordsmiths.net, and it's just giving encouraging words because we're both
Yes.
wordsmiths. Like
Absolutely.
my love language is words of affirmation, and so why not just brand it and bring more encouragement and hope.
Yes, and within our store, our new debut that you guys will be able to witness is with Providence Collection.
Yeah,
So
so our wordsmith brand has we got apparel now,
yes,
and we wearing it.
yes, Providence.
That's a sweatshirt.
Yes,
I got on a baseball cap. It looks crooked, but it's not. It really isn't. That's embroidered, and I love these items, and so you can go get them. Yeah, this month because it's Veterans. Well, we probably gonna keep it like that because it's Veterans Day next week and Marine's birthday, right? My
Marine Corps
husband, y'all
birthday
know my husband's a
next week.
Marine or veteran. Um, a portion of the proceeds of these
Yes,
are going to a nonprofit in Charlotte called
Bridge Homes.
Veterans Bridge Home,
Yes,
and it's a 501c3 tax exempt nonprofit that provides resources for veterans who are coming home and really have to deal with that transition, and like y'all really don't realize what veterans go through,
yes. It gives them all the resources, whether it's for them getting the education, getting the proper tools, getting job opportunities, even if it's someone that's doing okay but just want to improve their situation. All they have to do is just allow that particular organization to be aware of what it is they like to do or what they like to accomplish, and then we actually sit down with them and help them come up with some type of plan, and then help them orchestrate that plan in order to reach their goals.
Yeah, so we
Yes.
are proud to be partnering with them.
Absolutely.
It's such a good thing to give back. You know, that's what the savvy servant
Yes.
does. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay, baby, what we talking about
Yeah.
today?
So like she said, with our debut, our Providence collection, everything that we have or everything that we will have on our new site is going to be scripture based.
Yes, the
So,
word.
yeah. So,
We are wordsmiths.
so right now we're wearing our Providence shirt, our apparel, and the word Providence is definitely God's providence is all throughout the Bible, and this particular word that we're using right now, Providence, in Psalm 37, verse 23, I
Yep.
believe it is. It talks about the steps of the righteous is ordered by the Lord.
Yeah.
So God is always in the background doing things that is going to help align you with where He's trying to take you.
That
So,
mate.
Yeah. So whether it's
That
again
$1 million
that mate,
home.
getting you that home, getting you that promotion, moving you to a better neighborhood, whatever it is, getting you that vehicle that you want, whatever it is, God is always in the background orchestrating things. And sometimes, well, I want to say a lot of times we don't acknowledge His participation.
Yep.
You get that raise and the first thing you do is talk about, oh yeah,
Well, I
got
deserved
this, yeah, I
it.
did this and I did that, but we're not giving God the glory. So
And we don't realize that providence is really Him doing supernatural, orchestrating things supernaturally, things that don't normally occur, like logically, like
Right.
things that don't normally occur, that doesn't make sense to happen.
that we can do ourselves.
Right, things that we take for granted, like, oh, I made that happen. But some things happen providentially. Some things only happen with
Absolutely.
God's interference, and that's what providence is. I first learned about the word providence through Dr. Tony Evans. He please go find it. He does an awesome teaching about the book of Esther. The book of Esther in the Bible is the only book that does not mention the word God, but it signifies God's providence. Things that had to occur for this servant girl to end up becoming a queen.
Yes.
And things that happen that don't normally happen. God had to have been behind it to make things supernaturally happen. And so that's what providence is. And so we're going to talk about what we talking about today.
There's some things that has happened, before as we were on our journeys, individual journeys to meeting each other and being introduced to each other. There are some things that God was in the background doing on our behalf, both of us individually, and then since we've been together, also collectively. So
some things that we say, oh wow,
yeah.
that was providential.
Absolutely. And again, as we've always said, we do not have the magic formula or the secret or whatever, the blueprint to relationships. These are things that we just thought about after the fact and realized this is what they mean to us, and we just want to share that with you.
We just sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So God's providence in our relationship, like what's some of the providential things that happened for us in our relationship that caused us to come together? Because this, again, y'all know our stories. We did a whole video about does fate really exist? And really that was showing you the plan of how God was orchestrating our steps providentially. But there's some things that we hadn't talked about, that really hadn't talked about, that's just supernatural, that we couldn't have just thought up to make this work.
Absolutely.
And that you don't realize that's happening in your life. So,
Absolutely.
baby, what we doing? How we starting this off?
Well, let's start with you.
Okay.
Number one would be your niece.
Okay. So back in 2018, my niece Deasia, she was going to college in North Carolina. Of course, y'all know we from the DMV. She was going to school in North Carolina, and she, it would have, the way her semesters or the summer was operating, it would have not been in her best interest to go back home to Maryland. So she decided that it would have been it would be easier for her to come to stay with me, which her school was like an hour and something away. For her to come to stay with me for the summer, bring her stuff, so that it would be easier to move back into campus. So she came to live with me, or came to stay with me, come to stay with me for a couple of months. And one day, I will never forget this. It was a Saturday. Deasia being Deasia, she was scrolling through the internet and figured that she would tell me that it was time for me to have a baby, or to at least adopt a baby. And so she went on and found all of these adoption sites. And I never forget, she came in my room and she said, "Aunt Jill, I found the perfect little boy that you should adopt." I mean, he was so adorable. And she's like, you should check this out. And I'm thinking, like, first of all, girl, go to bed. Like, what are you doing? Like, it was the weirdest thing. And so I told her, I said, ain't no way I am having no type of child, adoption or not, without a husband. And she was scrolling. These sites were beautiful, these adoption sites. And it just caused me to, like, I said, well, let me go on a dating site. Let me see what's out there on a dating site. And that's what caused me to just go on a dating site. And I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw somebody had mentioned a dating site. And I went on that dating site. And y'all know from past videos that's when I saw Terrence's profile. And had my niece not have been there, had her school not have been in North Carolina, had she decided to, like that, like God will use like people to make supernatural things occur that would not normally happen. So that was the number one. That was one of the ones that was providential. It was a providential moment that God used. He used my niece to cause me to go on that dating site.
Okay. And since you started there, then what I would do is I will build on that. And I would say what was providential for me is the fact that the site you went on, my account was not even active. I haven't been on that account in years. So
that's crazy.
So that whole opportunity that God used to put you in my path was an account that wasn't even active anymore, which is why I didn't even see it when you placed it on there. It's because I wasn't, in my mind, I wasn't even on there. It wasn't even a thought to even visit that site anymore, or even go on there. I actually saw what you did through Facebook, which is a whole nother,
providential. I'll talk about that in a moment.
But yeah, so the fact that God used a site that I wasn't even actively on. Yeah, I could.
That's a lawsuit.
I could have sued them. How you giving out my stuff to this woman that we don't even know each other?
I'm not even active on there.
Yeah,
that could cause a divorce.
Yeah. So in this case, it was something that God was able to use to actually put you in my path, so I would actually even be able to know that, learn that
that's
you exist
providence. A dead account.
Absolutely.
A dead account, and he kept coming up. His profile kept coming up because I had like a 30-day subscription. It kept coming up. Yeah. And there were like 2 different profiles of him. Like I was like, wait a minute, I think this is the same guy. It was a different picture, but I was like, wait a minute, this is crazy. And so y'all know the story from when, are you ready for me to move on to number 3?
No, go do your thing.
Oh. When y'all know the story from past videos is that I got up the courage to reach out to him on the dating site, and he didn't respond. So that was like June of 2018. I was like June. And then I had like a 30-day account, and then something said no, I didn't extend the subscription. I end up finding out because his Facebook was attached to it. I ended up going to his Facebook page. And when I went to his Facebook page, I DM'd him. Y'all know this story from past videos. I DM'd him. And a couple of days later, he DM'd me back. We were supposed to make an arrangement to speak, but he quote unquote ghosted me. Now I'm gonna tell you how this is providential. Because after I DM'd him and we were supposed to make we had made a quote unquote unofficial phone date to talk in a couple of days. I got a request from him to ask me to be his friend on Facebook, and I accepted his friend request. So when he quote unquote ghosted me, I should have, and I kind of did, say forget him. But what I did not do is I did not take him off my Facebook, because in my mind, he at least had requested me as a friend. I'm just going to stay friends with him. We ain't ever got to talk again, because he requested me as a friend. What I did not know, and I found out randomly with a conversation with someone else who was going through this, when you DM somebody on Facebook, it automatically, the receiver, it automatically sends a friend request. Had I known that, I would have been deleted him. I thought all this time that he had requested me as a friend. So that was a providential move. So I did not unfollow him or defriended him. I kept him as a friend on my Facebook. A whole year before, like I just said, forget this guy. I don't know who he is no more, because I don't want to be bothered, but I'm going to at least keep him on my Facebook because he requested me. Maybe he's going through a breakup right now. I'm going to give him his space, whatever. I don't know. I went on and said, forget him on Facebook, and I continued. Y'all know the story. I continued to pray with him because he kept coming in my spirit. And so that was providence, because again, I thought he had requested me. So,
and it's funny because on my side of that same story or that same encounter is, of course, I hadn't been on there for a year or so. So when I finally started, I got on Facebook one day for whatever reason, I don't even know. I got to strolling down my friends list, down my friends list. And when I did, she came up as one of my friends. And again, I'm looking at her like, who is this woman? And I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't remember sending her friend request. She must have sent me one. So again, we both have the same confusion about why she was actually even on my friends list on Facebook. So I pulled her up, looked at her profile to see, who is this woman? Where she come from? And then I realized that we had conversations a year ago when she first DM'd me. And I was like, oh, snap. So I'm thinking now, oh, she cussing me out. I didn't respond to her in a year. So then I sent her a message. And like I told her, I sent her a message expecting her to say, dude, that ship done sailed. It's been a long time. I forgot all about you. I figured you forgot about me, whatever. But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
that was providential. That because y'all know how the algorithms work. Like, why would I even come up on his timeline? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's providential. Yeah. Like that's God just working it out and ordering.
Ordering these steps.
Ordering the steps. Like, and so what's the?
I think one of the biggest providences that I believe happened is, and I hate to say this because I know a lot of you had a very bad time during this period, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is the pandemic.
Yeah.
When COVID came out, it shut everything down. But here's what I feel is so provident about that in regards to us, and that is it took away any type of human desire for us to be anything other than honest with each other. because we couldn't go out to restaurants. So I
couldn't
couldn't sit there and
flex.
say, well, let me impress her by taking her to this, this #1 steakhouse, or try to impress her in any way, buy things for her, because there was nowhere to go. Everything had done shut down. So for a year, she and I had a chance to spend with each other, first by phone. We texting, we're on the phone. Every night I'm getting off work, we're on the phone for hours. So it was simple, it was pure, it was honest, it was sincere. It gave us a chance to just take whatever we would have
Superficial.
probably presented ourselves as. We were stripped of all of that just because of the pandemic. And it allowed us to spend time together just talking.
Yep.
Just learning about each other, learning about what we liked, what we didn't like, who we were, where we come from. Even there was a time when we was on the phone and we got to the point where it's like, okay, we've been talking for months now. Now it's time that in a natural, ordinary time frame, it would be like, well, let's actually get to see each other. Let's meet and see each other. And she mentioned to me on the phone, I can't believe we went through all of this. We finally met after all these years, after the age that we are, and then here's the pandemic's going to keep us apart. And I was like, no.
Right, because they told us we couldn't even go up the highways
So-
without asking for permission from
Right.
our jobs.
Yes.
And
So I told her, I was like, look, I'm taking a chance. Either this is going to destroy us together, or we're going to make it together.
we didn't get COVID.
but,
We didn't, and
yeah.
we risked, and that was
So-
God's providence. He was ordering it.
Yes. So we started, I went up to visit, 2-hour drive the very first time. And even then, after all that conversation, we're still nervous because we hadn't met each other. I remember on the phone, we're talking on my way of driving to her house, and it's like, I'm kind of nervous to see you. She was like, well, I'm nervous. But here's what's great about this whole opportunity and this providence. Because of how God orchestrated it, because we'd spent so much time on the phone, I wasn't worried about really if she liked me or not. Because I told her, I said, I already like you. I like you based upon all these conversations. We've been talking for months on the phone. All I need to do now is see you really to say, okay, she's real. It's a real person. I wasn't speaking to a machine, and I wasn't speaking to somebody that's playing me or whatever. All I need to know is that she was actually a real human being named Jill that I've been speaking to for months. And so by the time we actually spoke in person and saw each other in person, to be sincerely interested in her, I was already beyond that.
And I remember no restaurants were open. He had said I had to. It made me see if you could cook or not.
We joke with young guys today about, man, these young girls today don't know how to cook. Well, guess what? Because all the restaurants was closed, we found that out naturally just by spending time with each other
I had to cook.
and having to eat. One of us got to cook. So, okay, can she cook? Cool. That's answered because we ain't got nowhere else to go. We ain't got nobody else to impress. So, absolutely.
I remember when the restaurants opened up, and people were still scared to go out. And the only restaurant that was open in my area was Chili's.
Yes.
And we went to Chili's and we said, we're going to take a risk.
Oh, they hooked us up.
They hooked us up. That was Providence. We sat on the patio. We had the best conversation.
Music playing.
The music, the good R&B was
the only
playing.
ones in
We
there,
was
so
in the
our
only
food came
ones in there.
immediately.
Our food came quick. And the conversation was deep.
Yeah.
And it was that when we drove back to my house, I remember that was the day you said you loved me. I was like,
So
oh,
it's
you
like-
what?
Yeah,
God's providence of how he make things
we
happen.
really had a chance to take our time. And here's the thing. Nobody knew. Our family didn't know. Our friends
Nobody
didn't
knew.
know. It was just something that we both kept to ourselves, and we experienced, and we went through this journey through COVID together, and it worked out.
It allowed us to see
Yeah.
God's hand
In
and
everything,
how he
yes.
was doing this. It really allowed us to see God's hand. So that's the thing, Providence. You don't know how God. You got to just allow God to be God. You hear all the time people say, I heard somebody's story said, I was not supposed to go to that New Year's Eve celebration. And I went. And because I went, I met my husband. I wasn't even, somebody brought me a plane ticket to go to such and such. It wasn't even in my budget, to go to I don't know, Jamaica with them. It wasn't even in my budget, and somebody paid my way, and I went, and because I went, X, Y, and Z happened. You just don't realize how God's providence is working in your favor.
And it's about in every area.
Every area.
Just to give you an example, sometimes you don't know who you are to bless. You're going to be a blessing
Right.
to somebody. I walked to the store yesterday, and while I was in the store, a lot of you seen me with one of my hats that's got Marines on it, and I had that hat on yesterday, or one of them. And as I was leaving Publix, a guy stopped me to say that his dad was a Marine and how that was the most important thing his dad, had in his life, and how it meant so much to his dad. And I didn't rush. I stayed right there, let him tell me whatever story he wanted to tell me about his dad and him. I thanked him for it. I thanked him for his dad's service. And so you don't know sometimes what God is going to do or how he's going to use you to be a blessing to other people. So even now, when people come across your path, sometimes don't be in such a rush to kind of say, hey, and walk away.
Right.
Especially if they look like they want to say something else to you. You just don't know. And the way the world is today, we need to bless and be a blessing to as many people as we can, especially when sometimes all it takes is just you being a listening ear for maybe 30 seconds or 45 seconds.
Yeah, that I didn't even tell you. I was uptown the other day, and I usually don't carry cash on me. And it was a lady, a homeless lady, and it was looked like a businessman walking towards me. And I really didn't want to. I really don't have cash. And I dug in my bag, and I found a $5 bill. And I was thinking, should I give this to her? I don't want to embarrass her. This guy's walking towards me, and I'm like, I didn't want her to reject my money. But someone said, give her the money anyway. And I gave her the $5. And you know what she said to me? Thank you. I could now buy my prescription. I was like, what the heck? Like, you just never know how God is orchestrating your steps in a supernatural way to be blessed or to be a blessing.
Absolutely.
He is always doing it. When you look back, I can guarantee you probably can think of at least one thing this past week that it was nothing but God ordering your steps to have it done.
Absolutely.
To make it happen. It's always, sometimes we think, some people call it serendipity, some people call it fate, believers call it providence. It's a very powerful word. It is God supernaturally ordering our steps to make things happen in our favor. And it could be things, people, or places. He can use, like my niece. He used my niece. Yeah. And it's funny, and that's how you can really watch the people. Somebody put on a post this morning on Facebook. They said something like, if the person if people don't bring out the best in you, don't be around, something to that magnitude. And it resonated, because there are some people you can be around. If you notice, you feel so inspired, you feel life coming out of you. But then there's some people, it's like, I feel depressed after I leave them. I feel questionable. I feel certain type of way. But I say this to say, every time we're around my niece, and we have tons of family, but it's something about being around Deasia and she always says she loves being around us. Yeah. But her being there that summer, and she was the very first person that knew about, because I shared the profile with I shared Terrence's profile with her, and so when this came to be, she's 20, she just turned 23. Can you imagine how that planted God in her life, the power of God? Faith, that she literally saw this from a seed. And now look. Patience.
I mean, just being able to see something from, like she said, from the infancy stage all the way through to know that
Not-
all I have
yeah.
to do is believe and have faith and trust, and He's going to take me from one end to the other.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So God's providence is powerful. Providence is powerful. So we love that word.
Yes.
What better way to? I love my baseball cap. So if y'all want it, y'all can go get it. Click the link, our website link. We got the sweatshirt.
Yes. I love this sweatshirt.
The sweatshirt. We got the long sleeve. I don't have it on today because the one I ordered was a little too big. We had the cups, but I don't like how the cups turned out. But we had the cups on there. But we do have a mug. What else we got on there? There's a lot of stuff.
We got
on
bag on there.
We got a bag. It's a lightweight tote. But a portion of the proceeds are going back to
yes. For good cause.
Yes,
Very
to
good cause.
Veterans Bridge Home, a nonprofit. So yeah, there you have it. I'm glad that we back.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say, baby?
I just want to say again, we thank you all for
you.
just allowing us to take a little bit of time in your life to say hello, how you doing, and
Yes.
hopefully what we've been putting out is some great content. If there's anything that you'd like to hear us do a video, just let us know in the comments. Please share this with as many people as you can. Subscribe, like, whatever. Just we thank you so much. We're humbled by this, and we just look forward to the next one.
Yes, y'all be blessed. All right.
Yes.
See y'all. We're gonna try to come back a little. Well, we keep saying that. We keep saying we're gonna come back more often.
We are. We have no choice now.
We don't have a
We have a
choice.
site that we have to actually put
don't have no
content
choice.
on. So guess what?
We gotta come back.
We're gonna be back soon.
We're gonna be back soon. Love y'all. Thank y'all again for supporting us.
Yes.
This me and my baby. It's Saturday. We going to spend some time today. All right.
Deuces.
Deuces. Oh, y'all see my green nail polish? I got some green nail. All right. Y'all be blessed. Bye bye.